This is Darren Hunter, and we are with Kevin Hodges, who is the principal owner of Kevin Hodges Real Estate in the northern suburbs of Adelaide in South Australia. Kevin, you in the last 12 months have been able to add and increase fees, and I just want to talk about your journey through that. And Kevin, about a year ago, you looked at your situation. What was probably one of the reasons why you felt that you needed to get better fees?
Darren, I think like every business in Australia, the squeeze on our costs is just continuous. In 1 month my rent went up $300 a month. The money doesn't come out of thin air. So we were really struggling with our cash flow, and I'd been contemplating our fee structure, which we hadn't changed for many, many years. And so I looked at it was easier to do that to increase our revenue than it was to get in new properties.
Okay, so how did you feel about increasing your fees? Did you have any trepidation about it, or any doubts about it?
Just a little bit. I remember years ago I heard one of the American property managers, a fellow called Gene Bennett from Florida, and Gene said, the problem with you Aussies, you do too much for free. And it's time you learned the lesson that the answer's yes, and the fee will be. And that really helped me way back then, that's several years ago now, just to understand that we really are worth our money. I had a bit of trepidation about it. I guess I feel a lot of my clients are like my friends, and I did wonder how they would feel. I wondered if I'd get some pushback. But the reality is I could not continue to give the service that I do with the fee structure that I had, so we had to move ahead with it.
Okay, so when your staff were presented that you're going to be adding and increasing some fees, what was their reaction to it? And perhaps when the training occurred, what was their reaction?
Well, I guess initially, because it's what the old man wanted to do, they were probably giving their assent to it. But when we got into the nitty-gritties of how much we were going to increase our fees, and also we were introducing a whole brand new fee, and that was to do routine inspections, I got a lot of pushback from my staff. They assured me it could not be done. They assured me that we were going to lose a lot of our clients, and they were quite frightened of doing it. But we went ahead anyway. We did the training, and we did what the trainer told us to do. We wrote the letters, we used the scripts and dialogues, and to their surprise, we had hardly any pushback at all.
All right, Kevin, let's talk about that. So I think in the end, I think we know that you ended up sending out the letters because the staff were a bit reluctant to get involved in perhaps what they thought was the demise of your business. And so the letters went out. So I think, how many owners actually got a letter?
We've probably got about 260 owners on our books. We've got just under 300 properties, but some of them are multiple owners, so around about 260 owners would have got the letter explaining that due to the cost pressures upon the business that we had to increase some of our fees and also bring in the new one, charging for routine inspections.
Okay, now how many properties did you end up losing through the campaign?
Well, our trainer told us that with a rent roll our size, we'd probably lose about 15 properties. In other words, there'd be pushback from the owners who just wouldn't go ahead with it. And when the dust finally settled, we lost 6 properties. Interestingly enough, most of them were very low-end, low-value properties anyway that were giving us a lot of trouble, so we were kind of glad to see the back of them. We had probably 3 landlords that raised an objection, but our trainer gave us the scripts and dialogues, and we were able to negotiate with them, and we brought our increases back marginally, but they still got an increase, and they've been fine with that.
So the 6 properties that you lost, but they wouldn't be 6 properties with average income, would they? They would have been a lot less because you said they're low end. So in fact, maybe it was 3 properties worth of income that you lost? Yeah,
3, 4 at the most. Yep.
Okay, no, that's good. Alrighty, now you've got through the campaign, and what was your staff's reaction to the actual result afterwards? What perhaps, what did they say?
I think they went very quiet actually because they realised that they were wrong and the old man was right again, so now it's just par for the course. They take it on board, don't even bat an eyelid when they're presenting new fees to a new potential client. So they've accepted it, no problem.
So with new business, you also obviously increased your fees accordingly with new business.
Yes, that's correct.
Was there any change in the level of resistance with those new fees?
No, not really, because when we go out to sell our business, we're selling on the service that we provide, and you know that's an old sales method. Really, you've got to show value, and then the value outweighs the cost. So, and particularly with people that have already had properties badly managed, that the most expensive agent you can find is the one that doesn't do the job properly, no matter what their fees are. So we've had no trouble signing up new work with new landlords, no problem at all. And we pulled some across from other agencies that charge a heck of a lot less than we do. So no dramas.
So Kevin, a year on now, how has your initial goals of needing more revenue, how is, you know, without giving any numbers away, but how are things looking now compared to what they were then?
Oh, considerably better, Darren. And the new properties we brought on are coming on board with a higher revenue stream as well, which, you know, clearly increases the value of the rent roll at the end of the day. That's important as well. But our big goal was to increase the cash flow, and it's certainly done that for us. And it's nice to be in the black.
Okay, so what would you have to say to any business owners and property managers now considering it, and perhaps they have their doubts and fears about it, that it won't work for them? What have you got to say to them?
Well, I think the thing is, do you want to stay in business or not? Do you want to make a profit or not? Or are you just running a little, you know, kindergarten type business? You have to get serious about property management. And so I think the advice I would give, if that's the right word, is you really have to give some serious thought to the costs of running your business and the service that you're providing, and get the training. The training's available. Get the right training and overcome the objections in your own mind, because it's really a change of mindset and belief. I mean, for goodness sake, you get a plumber out on a job, they're going to charge 80 or 90 bucks just as a call-out fee. So why shouldn't we be charging for our valuable time to do things like inspections and arrange maintenance and so forth?
Well done, Kevin. And I think, you know, it's fair to say you're probably the most expensive agent that I've come across in Adelaide. Still, despite that, you had the same level of success that we see anywhere else. So, you know, congratulations.
Thank you. Yep, no problem.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.